Hello, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Haley Duralia, and I am currently pursuing my master's in education, along with an emphasis in learning and technology, and my multiple subject teaching credential through Azusa Pacific University. I've created this podcast to discuss my philosophy of education, along with my choice to become a multiple subjects educator. Teaching wasn't something I decided to pursue while entering college straight out of high school. I was 18 and searching for my calling while taking classes at a community college. I eventually received my associate in liberal studies and decided to complete my undergraduate degree in communicative disorders with the intent of becoming a speech language pathologist. I've always felt drawn to making a difference in the life of children, and I love the thought of working in an elementary school to do so. As I pursued my degree, I also fell in love with American Sign Language and the study of deaf culture. I returned to community college to obtain a secondary associate's in the study of ASL. And during this time, I volunteered in a deaf and hard of hearing elementary classroom, and the love for teaching was ignited in me. I enjoyed being involved in the process of educating these students and bettering their classroom experience. I decided that teaching was what I wanted for my future. The journey to get me to this place in life, be it educational or otherwise, has been anything but an easy path. I have experienced hardships, just as we all have. Because of these experiences, and because I have overcome them, I do consider myself to be a resilient person. These experiences left me unconnected and lacking a sense of wholeness for a time, but the resiliency in me decided that I could not continue down that path. This is not to credit myself. Sometimes the resiliency was handed to me through loved ones, and sometimes I had to search for it through a higher power. The point is that I've always made it out. I can say that lately my life has been pretty blessed. In comparison to past years, I've been pretty lucky to slide by without any recently devastating happenings. I've had to practice resiliency through graduate school while becoming a new parent and juggling a full-time job, along with marriage and other important relationships. But this is the daily struggle we all strive to maintain. I appreciate the lapse and difficult moments, but understand that my time is limited and the resiliency in me will soon be tested as life throws curveballs at me. This resiliency will be further challenged through my future career in teaching. Some days will be harder than others, but I feel that I will be challenged every day, whether it be from my students, the parents of my students, my peers, my administrators, or even myself. I can never choose to simply survive these difficult experiences because if I did, it would not be fair to my students. Barely surviving means I am not offering my students everything I can offer them. It means I am not fighting for them or providing them with a full classroom experience. Choosing to be resilient will require that I bounce back from the difficult moments and strive for more every day. It will cause me to research how I can differentiate instruction further for the struggling student in my classroom, or to try harder to reach the student with behavioral problems because I owe that to these children. My resiliency is further expanded because of my faith and the work I feel that I'm meant to do while on this earth. My faith asks me to serve to the best of my ability. Because of this faith, I cannot ignore what is being asked of me or what my heart feels called to do. I will never be okay with providing my students the bare minimum. I've recently been introduced to the Hebrew expression of ahava and adopted this as my moral imperative of teaching. It means love or to give. The word does not simply mean the act of love, but more explicitly to give love. I've adopted this as my moral imperative because the power of ahava is that it helps to ignite the individualized spark inside each student. Without this love, that flame may never flourish. I desire to see each of my students open up in my classroom, and as a result of this created safe place, they further expand their vulnerableness to the world, allowing social justice to thrive past the classroom. I reflect on the teachers that created a classroom environment of ahava, and these are the teachers that impacted my life the most. These teachers created the platform that allowed their students to be themselves, and there is no more loving environment than one a student can be vulnerable in. This allows students to not only learn about each other, but also to explore his or herself. This, I feel, is one of the greatest assets I can offer my students. My educational journey through APU has provided me with the academic knowledge I will need to apply appropriate pedagogy to the classroom, but my life experiences are what I can really offer to my students on a daily basis. My life has been my training to provide them with this ahava, and ahava is what they deserve. Thank you.